everyone, let's talk about how to get hired fast. If you're a job seeker and you're looking to get hired fast, you come to the right place. Now, for this video, I'm going to take this article here called 20 Little Known Ways to Get Hired Fast, and we're going to go down it and we're going to see if they got it right. Okay, this was written some time ago. Let's see what they say. Okay, get specific. Wow, that's a real gem, okay? Unfortunately, this is written by a recruiter, and recruiters don't seem to realize that people can do more than one job. So if you need a job, and you can do several things, that might be a little bit hard. If that's you, don't worry about it. There's ways around it. Okay, don't settle. Yeah, that's some really good life advice. Just don't quit. Wow, these are some real gems. Remember the cover letter. Okay, well, assuming that you are responding to a posted job ad with a job application, then yes, this would make sense. Okay, remember the cover letter. Now, if you're applying online, your cover letter is going to be your email. Okay, if you're sending in via email a resume to a recruiter, like they're assuming that you would do here, the email itself, the body of the email will be your cover letter. And all you have to say is, hello, I'm applying for this particular job. Please find my resume attached to this email, and I would very much appreciate the chance for an interview, and I would appreciate you getting back to me. Thank you very much for your time, and your name and contact information. And that's all you have to do for a cover letter, okay? That's all the information you need in the cover letter, and that would probably go in the body of the email in the vast majority of cases. A cover letter kind of dates back to when you were sending in an actual letter in an envelope over snail mail with your resume printed off inside, and a letter would explain why you're sending the resume. So that's what this is all about. Okay, a job-specific resume. Well, okay, if you're going for a low-level job, it may not be necessary to tailor your resume for every job that you apply to. Okay, if you have a resume that's specific for an industry, say construction, you're going after a construction job or something, maybe a casual labor job, something like that, entry-level job, well, you wouldn't really need to tailor your resume too much, okay? If you're applying for a much higher level job, then yes, you would tailor it. But this is not absolutely essential depending on the context. Keep it simple. Yeah, great life advice. Employment isn't everything. No, it isn't, but it's almost everything. Dress for what you want. Okay, all this is, the only thing you got to remember here is that you need to look appropriate for whatever job you're going for. So if you're applying for a low-level construction job, like a casual construction job or something, physical labor job, you don't want to show up in a suit necessarily. You want to look appropriate. Okay, if you're applying for a bank job, you want to dress up like a banker. Okay, so that you look like the person they should hire. You look like you fit there and you belong. That's the entire idea, okay? So that's all you got to remember for how to dress. Don't fake it. Well, you know, this is from a recruiter, right? The reality is that sometimes we have to. Share stories. Now, this actually does make sense. What you would do to prepare for a job interview is you would prepare and rehearse 5 success stories from your past. So 5 of your most shining moments in your career. Or if this is your first job you're applying for in your life, you might have success stories maybe from school or something like that. Or maybe a project you did with friends, or, you know, local activities, that kind of thing. So 5 of your most shining moments. Then when they ask you, you know, why should we hire you? You can say, well, you should hire me because, you know, I've accomplished this. I've done this. You know, I did this project at school. I got 100%. I was recognized by my teachers as doing an especially good job, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so you want to come with those prepared. Leave hate at the door. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, really, what you got to remember is that the biggest thing that's going to sell you in most job interviews is your attitude. Okay, you could be the most brilliant technical person in the world, but if you come in there and you got a real chip on your shoulder and you're upset and you're agitated and you're you're making snippy comments and things like this, nobody will want to work with you. Okay, it doesn't matter what your technical achievements are. You could be a rainmaker for them. You can make them millions of dollars. But the problem is that if they suspect that nobody wants to work with you, then it's not going to work out. So always be positive, always be 100% positive. Sometimes it's hard, but that's what you got to do. Okay, the follow-up. Yeah, you got to follow up after a job application. Send them an email if that's what you're doing. Now, here is the real gem. Okay, number 13, network. Now, this article, like I said, this is written by a recruiter. And what a surprise. A recruiter assumes that the only way that you're going to get a job is by going through a recruiter. Well, that is actually not the best way to get a job. Certainly not the way to get a job fast. The way you would get a job fast is you actively pursue the employers. Okay? This can take many, many forms, but this is the basic idea. Okay? Now, the most obvious and straightforward way of doing this is if you are already on social networking, you have a Facebook account, or you're on LinkedIn, which is even better. What you would do is you'd start by thinking, where do I want to work? Are there companies locally that I would want to work there? You know, they're in my industry, and you know, I would love to be able to work there. Well, if that's the case, then you need to contact those companies, and you need to basically raise your hand and say, hello, I'm here. I'm looking for a job. I'm great at this. And if ever you're looking for someone to do this, let me know, because I'm looking for a permanent job, or I'm looking for a temporary job, or I'm looking for a part-time or casual job, whatever it is, or all of the above. Okay? That's the best way to do it. Now, to get into this a little bit further, one way of doing it is simply to get on your social network, okay, on your, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever you got. And if you are connected to previous coworkers or previous bosses, number one, contact all of them. Create a template message that you send to all of them. Make it be very professional. No spelling mistakes, no grammar mistakes. And you say basically what I just said. I'm here. I'm looking for a job. I'm great at this, and I can help you do this. So if you need that, let me know, because I'm looking. Okay? That's the most straightforward way to do it. You can also do this in person. You can go down to the company, you walk in the front door, and you give them your resume, and you say, hey, I just wanted to drop this off. I'm looking for something. And then you say exactly the same message that I have repeated twice now. I'm here. I can do this. I'm looking for a job. If ever you guys need that, let me know. I would very much like to work here. So, and then that's it. Thank you very much. And then you leave. And if they want to talk to you further, they will. If they don't have anything right then it's okay. You don't have to be in any high pressure situations and have it be awkward. Okay, get references. Yes, well, that's something that you should have before. Now, if you've never had a job before, these could be teachers from your school, something like that, from university, whatever you have. Okay, teachers would probably be your best bet. If you don't have any coworkers, the previous coworkers or previous bosses. And do it again. That just means keep doing it. Yeah, well, it's good that we have these people to write articles to tell us these things. Turn negatives into positives. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. If you have weaknesses, you know, it's very important you don't mention anything bad about yourself when you're in a job interview or when they ask you questions. And if they do zero in on a weakness, you say, well, you know, I have that weakness, but I learned how to deal with it. Or I learned something about myself or other people, and so I compensate for it. Something like that. Focus on accomplishment as opposed to what. Stand out from the rest. Yep, easier said than done. Be confident. Definitely be confident. Listen, the reality is that people hire people who are likable. It's just that simple. Okay? Technical achievements and technical requirements, sometimes they're important. A lot of times they're not as important as they're made out to be. But the thing that will get you hired is how likable you are. If you have a great attitude, you're very positive, and after they talk to you, they think, man, I'd love to work with this person. That alone will sell you. Okay? So I don't know if that's really necessarily confidence. Maybe confidence might be somewhat of a requirement for that. Okay, and engage, that's just more of the same thing. about being likable. Okay? So, in my opinion, this article is not really that great. The way to get hired fast is not necessarily to go through a recruiter, and it certainly isn't by responding to posted job ads. Okay, so if you go to Indeed, you see all those jobs posted there, and then you apply for them. That's not necessarily the way to get hired fast. Okay, I would not recommend that as if you need to get hired fast, you do that. Instead, you got to be proactive. Okay, and you got to pursue the companies or organizations where you'd like to work. Okay, it's possible using Google and LinkedIn, just those two tools alone, you can find all the employers in your area. You can find the individuals at those organizations, at those companies, that are the bosses, right? And any manager who is in charge of people has the potential to hire somebody. So what you do is you just have to contact these individuals and you say that all-important message. Hello, I'm here. I'm great at this. I would love to work for your company, and I'm looking for employment right now. If ever you need someone to do this, I'm your person. So let me know. Thank you very much for your time. Have yourself a great day. Okay? That's all you got to do. Now, specifically, you could take that strategy, if you want to call it that, and apply it to many different things. Another example would be staffing companies. Okay, in your hometown, there will be staffing companies. These are recruitment companies that deal with a lot of contingent employees. That means temporary employees, part-time employees, things like this. And what you can do is you contact them. I would do it by phone. I would not email them because emails are too easy to ignore. Okay, it's you can bet that these people, there'll be a lot of people that are looking for something that are contacting these companies. So as a result, they will get a lot of traffic of emails. So I would not recommend that you email them. Instead, I'd recommend that you pick up the phone and just say, hello, my name is this. I'm wondering how this works. I'm looking for work, and I'm wondering if you guys have a pool of temporary positions or part-time positions that I might apply for. I could throw my hat in the ring. How does that work? And then you let them talk and you learn. And then whatever they say, whether it's good or bad, at the end you say, thank you for your time, and then you hang up. There's no need to be in an awkward situation. There's no need to fear this process. This is what you got to do. Okay, so that's one alternative, is a staffing company. Another way of doing this is you actually go down to the company. Like I said, now if you're looking for a casual labor job, okay, and you're in, you might want to do a construction, something like that, you physically go down to where the people are working. You go down to a construction site and you talk to the foreman. You say, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And you just ask, say like, hey, you say your message, that all important message. I'm just looking for something. And how would I go about throwing my hat in the ring to get something if you guys have it, if ever you need that? And they'll tell you. And that's the thing. You could walk into a store and do that. You could walk up to any type of business and do that. Okay, assuming that you are friendly and you present yourself professionally and you say, I'm just here to drop off my resume and I'm just wondering this. And then whatever they respond, and you say, thank you very much for your time. That's the way to do this. Now, obviously, there's a lot more to this process. Like there's terms for everything, and there's a lot of details on how every single thing I mentioned works, but that's the basics. And this is all you really need to know to get started. So if you follow this with a little bit of persistence, you can get something. And if you're going for an entry-level type job, then it's even easier. Okay, this is kind of probably almost everything you need to know to get something relatively quickly as an entry-level job. And the great thing is that once your foot is in the door with an entry-level job or a low-level job, the great thing is that once your foot is in the door, you're on the inside of that organization, then you have the keys to the kingdom, because as an internal candidate, you could apply for any position in that company and they would consider you before they would consider hiring somebody from the outside. Okay, so once you're on the inside, even if like an entry-level job or a temporary job, you feel is kind of maybe a bit beneath you. It's not really what you're looking for. You want something a little bit more. That's fine. You start with this, you get your foot in the door, and that's a great stepping stone to quickly get something a little bit higher up in that organization if you are qualified to do it. Okay, so hopefully that helps. I have many more videos over every aspect of getting a job on this channel and also on my main channel called The Company's Expert. Check it out. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you guys on the next video. You're awesome. Take care of yourselves.